Yeah, good morning, people. This is Carlos Faucher in association with Faucher Boxing Limited. Also in association with Charlie Brown and Charlie Brown Boxing on YouTube and Twitter. You can catch me on Twitter at Faucher Boxing, um, where I upload these videos. Any questions you want to ask, you want to follow. I am obviously, for those of you that don't know by now, I'm just racking up all my coaching badges in the process myself of becoming a professional boxer myself. So anyway, it's very rarely, it only comes every 4 years. It's not the Olympics, no, it's the Commonwealth Games. And I'm happy with the Commonwealth Games. You know, basically it showcases all the countries underneath the Commonwealth, the British Commonwealth. Even though these countries are all independent now, at one point they were under British rule and kind of British instruction. I don't want to get all political with it, but basically the Commonwealth Games is the kind of black Olympic Games, if you want, whether people like to admit that or not. But it truthfully is. To me, you look at all the countries involved. It's all the African countries, bar Egypt, bar Somalia, and a few of the other kind of Arab and Muslim states in Africa. But mainly, it's got all the African countries, all the Caribbean countries, Canada, Australia, Samoa, New Zealand, a couple of places in they got India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan. So it's all those countries, all those kind of countries. There's no America. There's basically no superpowers and no communist countries, man. So it's everybody else. And it's been a good game so far. I'm gonna go through all the divisions, male and female. I'm not gonna go through all the rounds, but I'll just start from the semi-finals, basically. Um, Now, I'm going to do all the divisions up to the semi-finals, and then I'll tell you who I think is going to be in the final. And basically, we'll start with the 49 kg division, which is the light flyweight division, which is a very, very good division. Gets sort of it's a very underrated division, but very good. But semi-finals, basically, so far, uh, we're okay. We know that guy from Wales called Ashley Williams is fighting a guy called, I think his first name is Deepak. Don't quote me on that. Deepak Leshram of India, and Leshram beat a guy called Asaf Ahmed, who's Scottish. He was tipped for a medal. He came up short actually against Leishram, and Leishram is now into the semi-finals with Ashley Williams, and I think that's going to be a good semi-finals because Ashley Williams is tipped to win gold. Um, so it'll be important to see what happens. But the only problem I have at the moment, it's a little bit of a rant, but still, in the first round, the first where there's 32 teams in the beginning, all the fighters, well, most of them, I'm going to say probably 80% of them so far, have all had a bye. Now, a bye is just basically where they just put you through to the next stage. You don't actually do any fighting, you just go straight through. Usually because the opponent, I don't know, the opponent tests for positive for steroids, or they just get scared, or they don't want to go in. I just don't see why you would get on a plane from whatever country it is to represent the country and not participate. Like, just say that you sprained your wrist or some rubbish like that. It's ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with getting beat at games, because at the end of the day, they'll still say that you competed at the Commonwealth Games. Win, lose or draw, it's still good to put on your resume for when you want to turn pro. I don't know what's wrong with these kids nowadays. But anyway, Um, Paddy Barnes is fighting a guy called Kagwa. Um, Kagwa is from Zimbabwe, as far as I can remember. I might be wrong there. I'm sure he was from He's either from Botswana or Zimbabwe, because that flag I can't really tell from here. But I did see the fight against him against Suleimani with Ghana, and that was a very very tight, close match. And yeah, Kagwa came through that. Kagwa's can box. He can box. He's very strong. Um, he also likes a bit of a tear up as well, so that should be good. He should complement Paddy Barnes in the semi final. I'm basically, I'll go out on a limb. I'd say that Paddy Barnes has a good chance of making the final and getting his second Commonwealth gold. He's definitely the favourite to win gold at this tournament. He's had two bronze Olympic medals, one World Championship gold. One European gold. Sorry, one one silver medal at the Europeans, and he's had one Commonwealth Games gold. So for me, he's the most decorated. He's only 27, um, so it'll be interesting to see. I hope he goes pro, and I hope it all really works out for him. But it should be interesting semi-finals. Ashley Williams against Leishram. I'm picking Williams to go through that quite comfortably. So we're looking at realistically a Northern Ireland and Welsh final. But Kagwa, like I said, he does have some power, man. He's quite a lethal guy. So that should be interesting. We'll go to the women's light flies. Um, the women's light fly, no, sorry, the women's flyweight division. I'm sorry, it's a little bit different with the women's. I think they got three or four less weight classes. So it's 48 kilograms to 51 kilos for the women. And again, I'll start at the semi-finals. Obviously, England's Nicola Adams. If you don't know who Nicola Adams is, she won gold at the 2012 Olympics for Great Britain. Good fighter from Leeds. Very, very good. Very well schooled. She'll be fighting. Um, I'm just going according to this. This could be old, this information I'm sourcing, but I might be a day behind, but I'll just keep you up to date anyway. She's fighting a girl from Canada called Bujold, who I remember she fought um, in the quarterfinals against Kerry Harris of New Zealand, and that was quite a good fight. This should be a very good fight for Nicola Adams because this Canadian girl can box. She can box, and she's got power. So this is going to be very interesting how Nicola Adams adjusts to um, this fight. It won't be a walkover for her, but I wish her all the best because um, it's very hard for the girls to make it in women's boxing. I'm not even going to lie; it's quite hard for them. Although people think it's a piece of piss, it's not really. It's quite hard for the girls. So I'm going to go with Nicola Adams to win that. Just a very close battle. But this Canadian girl could cause an upset. She is very slick as well. The other semi-final is Wales's Walsh versus Rani of India. Now I've seen Rani before. Rani can box quite well, but she does like to come forward sometimes and leave her defense a little bit leaky. But she is a good boxer, not to be underestimated. But I think Walsh, from what I've seen of her, she's very good. Did I say Wales? She's not Welsh, sorry, Northern Irish. Um, very very good, uh, very good boxer. Um, I'm backing her to beat Rani really, and it should be a Northern Ireland England final. It should be in idealistically, but you never know what could happen. But I'm going with that anyway. Um, I think Nicola Adams could go all the way and just win gold, put another gold medal to her already growing medal collection. She won gold at the Europeans as well as the Olympics as well. So that'll be good for her. Moving on swiftly, we'll go to the men's um, the men's 52 kilogram division, which is the men's flyweight. That was quite good as well. I was watching all of that. I actually watched all of the prelims and fights before that. I thought that was a good little set of fighters. But basically, the semi-final is between Wasim of Pakistan and Omar of Ghana, and that's going to be an amazing fight, man. Because Omar, he's quite a slick boxer, but he's very strong as well. Wasim is also a very good boxer, very strong. Um, so that should be an interesting matchup to see who goes to the final in that one. And the other semi-final is McFadden of Scotland against Maloney of New Zealand. Again, that's more or less a 50-50, but it would be good to see McFadden um, come out on top in that one. But who knows? Um, who knows what could happen? Most people would back McFadden in his backyard in Scotland. I'll be willing to go with that. So that could be McFadden definitely, and let's say for example Omar in the final. But we'll see because Wasim is really good. But all the other fights before that were good, but I just don't want to go into them because a lot of you probably wouldn't have heard of half of them, and doesn't really make a lot of sense me going through the whole thing. But we'll move down to the bantamweight division, 56 kilos, men's. Again, like I said, the women's flyweight division spans across 48 kilos and 51. So I don't even think they've got a women's bantamweight division anymore. So they've changed it all. Um, for this one semi-final is Conlon of Northern Ireland against McGoldrick of Wales. Both these two guys can box. Conlon used to be a guy that sort of came forward, a bit of a marauder, but he's changed in recent years. He's really putting together his combinations quite well. Boxing quite strong. That should be quite interesting um, to watch. I'm going to back Conlon for that one to get to the final. And the other semi-final is a guy called Ashfaq of England um, against a Kenyan boxer called Nijanguru. Sorry, Nijan Jiru. Sorry, Nijan Jiru of Kenya. That's going to be tough for Ashfaq, man. I know everybody's backing Ashfaq to just sort of bounce through that and dominate Nijanjiru, but I think Nijanjiru will come out on top in that one because he's very strong, very strong. He's got boxing ability as well. He's not just a marauder, but that should be quite interesting. But I'm going to back Nijanjiru to make it to the gold medal and silver medal final. So I'm backing Conlon and Nijanjiru to be in the final. Let me know what you think as well as I go along. What you think of the quality of the Commonwealth Games so far, and just basically, if you were watching the boxing, if you don't watch it, you could go on BBC iPlayer, type in boxing at the top, and all the prelims that I've just spoken of and all that, you can watch it. I think you can watch it up to a month. Um, Up to a month. So even 2 weeks after the games is finished, you can catch up and see what I was talking about. It's been a really good games actually. Um, okay, we'll move to the men's lightweight division, 60 kilos. This is usually a good one. You've got Cordina of Wales against Flynn of Scotland. That's going to be a tough fight. To me, that's a 50-50 as well. I'm backing Flynn for that. personally. I think Flynn's fought equal, yeah, probably a bit harder competition than all the than Cordina has. I think Flynn. I'm backing Flynn to go to the final there. Um, the other semi-final is between Alexander of Trinidad and Fitzpatrick of Northern Ireland, and that's a total 50-50 as well. Because Alexander, man, he's had a tough way in. He hasn't had any buys at all. He had to beat Joseph of Nigeria, Ahmed of Pakistan, and Breedy of Barbados, and it wasn't easy for him, man. So sorry, Breedy of Saint Vincent. Sorry, I'm going off on one. Yeah, Breedy of Saint Vincent. Sorry, but still, it wasn't all right for. It hasn't been plain sailing for him. And like I said, there's a lot of fighters. Fitzpatrick being one of them, he had a bye in his first fight as well. And I'm a little bit shocked at the Commonwealth Games that people are getting buys in them first preliminary rounds, because to me, there's so many boxers out there from other countries um, that are just dying to represent their country, and they don't get through for whatever reason, and then for some guy to just turn up and not even turn up in the ring, it's an injustice, and I hate that. I hate coaches that say there's no point me putting you out there because you're just going to get outclassed. This shows a total lack of ambition, man. But anyway, I'm not going to rant on about it. I'm going with Alexander to shock Fitzpatrick, make it to the final. So it should be, for me, it would be Alexander of Trinidad and Flynn of Scotland in the final for the men's lightweight division. That's who I'm backing. We'll move to the women's lightweight division. Again, like I said, because there's no bantamweight division for the women, it spans from 57 kilos to 60 kilos. Um, this is quite interesting because I haven't seen all the other heats, but there was a girl who I knew that fights for Dominica called Valeria Spicer, and she beat. Congratulations to her, man, because she beat Pritchard from New Zealand. It's quite a tough fight for her. She won it on points, but she looked really, really good, really fit, really strong. I've trained alongside her at Islington before. She's a permanent resident in Islington boxer. As you know, I retired from amateur boxing just last year, October of last year. So it was good to see her, make the games like she said she would. But I haven't seen the fight. She had a fight against Audley Murphy, I think that is of Northern Ireland. I didn't see that fight there, but Audley Murphy won that fight. So I'll be interested to look back at the tapes of that. But anyway, Audley Murphy is fighting Watts of New Zealand. Is that New Zealand again? No, not New Zealand. The other island, not Australia. I think that's Samoa. I think she's of Samoa, or quite rightly, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, she's fighting Watts. I think that Audley Murphy will go through to the final anyway, personally. She's a good boxer, man. Really, really good boxer. And then you've got Machongwa, and I forgot what country she's from. This is really bad, man. Somewhere in Africa, somewhere in South Africa. I think it's Tanzania. Anyway, she's fighting Devi of India, and Devi's a good boxer. She beat the Welsh girl on her way there. Quite a strong girl. It's a very dangerous division, that bantamweight division. The lightweight division for women is very, very strong, man. It's a very strong division. I'm backing Machongwa really to go all the way to the final against Audley Murphy. That's who I'm backing. Let me know what you think. We'll move on to the welterweight division real quick. Men's welterweight, 69 kilo division. We've got a final. Sorry, we've got two semi-finals here. Um, Maxwell of England against Taylor of Scotland. That's going to be a real tough, real tough challenge for both fighters. Um, I know Taylor's in his backyard, but I'm going to back Maxwell for that. But Maxwell could lose that because Taylor does have heart as well as boxing ability as well. So that's going to be tough. But I'm backing Maxwell for that one to make it to the final. And the other one is Duffy of Northern Ireland against Jonas of Botswana. And that's going to be interesting as well. But I'm backing Duffy to progress to the final against Sam Maxwell if it happens. Okay, so we've done the men's. We'll quickly go to. Sorry, that was the men's light welterweight division. Sorry, 64 kilos. Muddling my words here. This is the men's welterweight, 69 kilos division. Sorry about that. We've got Mbenge of South Africa against Fitzgerald of England. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough for both fighters. I'm backing Mbenge for that because the fights that I've seen Mbenge in so far, man, he's looked really, really strong. And he's really had some hard fights, man. So I had to fight a guy from Taiwan, a guy from Kenya, and then he's had to fight a guy from Guyana. You know, he's had a tough draw. He didn't get any buys at all. So yeah, I'm back in Mbenge for that. You know, Scott Fitzgerald is he beat my fellow countryman Bastien of St. Lucia. I was a little bit surprised at that. Even though I'm English, I still got my allegiance to St. Lucia still. I was quite shocked that he done that, and then he beat my other countryman, Mohammed of Ghana. You know what I mean? So completely crushed both countrymen there. But he's basically Scott Fitzgerald and Mbenge. I'm going to go with Mbenge for that one. And then you've got Jangra of India versus Donnelly of Northern Ireland. And I'm backing Donnelly to progress in that one. That one's going to be quite tight, but I think Donnelly will get through. He's just the better boxer of the two. So I'm looking at Donnelly and Mbenge, the classic puncher versus boxer matchup. Right, we're going to go to the 75 kilos division, the middleweight division. This one's sort of slightly self-explanatory, really, for those of you that know amateur boxing. We've got Vijender, or Vijender Singh, as sometimes as he's known, from India. He was the world #1 for a long time, for many years, for about 4 years. Well, no, it was 1 Olympics and about 2 world championships. He was the #1 boxer, man. I don't know if it's because he's got older, or I don't know what it is, the bright lights or whatever. He's a lot calmer now, but he just looks really, really different. He's fighting Coyle of Northern Ireland, and that Coyle guy, he's quite versatile as well. He's a bit of a banger, and he can box. I'm thinking that Coyle should beat Vijender, but if anyone's going to do it, it will be Vijender. Vijender's really good. He comes on later on in the fight as well. He's got very, very good boxing ability, but I'm going to back Coyle for this one because Coyle seems to me he's looked really, really impressive these games. We've got Anthony Fowler of England against Muzio of, I don't know what country, I forgot what country that is, if that's Rwanda. Please forgive me, man, because sometimes when I'm watching it, there's so many fights, I always forget the countries and that. And I'm only going off the flag that I see in front of me. But basically, this Muzio guy, he was quite strong. He beat a Canadian called Blair. He also beat a Jamaican fighter called Gardner. Um, he was quite good. I expected Gardner really to beat him and progress. I thought Gardner was actually going to win the whole medals at the beginning, but he hasn't. He wasn't able to do it. But I'm backing Fowler to come through that, and Fowler to fight Coyle in the final. That'll be at England, Northern Ireland. I'm very, very sure of that. If not, we'll see what happens. But that's what I think. And we got the women's middleweight division. Now, the women's middleweight division, because I got confused there a second ago. The women's middleweight division is from 69 kilos to 75, as is the men's, but it keeps changing. They keep changing the different proliferations and everything every year. So it gets a bit annoying, but it's quite hard for a woman that is 70 kilos to be in there with a girl that's 74, 75 kilos. Ridiculous, man. Sometimes that could be the difference between at least 2 inches in height. But it's the same with all divisions. But I just think with the women's, they just need to make as many divisions as the men's, and just make things a lot easier, I think, and a lot more competitive. But anyway, basically, another Canadian girl called 14, sorry, or Faucher, actually. That's how it's pronounced, but they spelled it wrong here. I saw her yesterday. She beat a girl from New Zealand. I was watching it last night, and that was really, really good. We also had Kerry Scott of Australia fighting a girl called Price of Wales. And Price beat her quite convincingly. So between Price and 14, I think 14 just got that a little bit more skill for Price. That's just from what I've seen anyway. Price is good, a good boxer herself, but I don't think she's going to have it with this Canadian girl. Because see this Canadian girl going to the finals. Then you've got Marshall of England against Ogoke of Nigeria. Now, this is going to be an interesting matchup, because Ogoke beat a woman from Sri Lanka called Wiratna, right? And Wiratna shouldn't have been in the ring with Ogoke, but it was like they were just teeing off on each other, man. It was just big. They were just throwing big bombs, big counters. And that girl from Sri Lanka, man, Wiratna, man, I did feel for her. The referee should have stopped the fight a long time ago. He just let it, kept going and going and going. She really did get tattooed, man. Ogoke is very good. She's a fan of James. She likes James Toney and Joe Frazier, and it kind of shows. It kind of shows in her boxing ability, but she's just very, very exciting. Ogoke, man. A big girl as well. She carries a lot of weight. She's got a lot of power. But that should be. I don't know if she's going to be skillful enough to beat Marshall. I think Marshall's a little bit more skillful, and if she can hold her feet correctly in there, she should advance. But I think Ogoke has that ability to knock her out, and I wouldn't bet against Ogoke. So I'm going to say it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm really going to back Ogoke for that. Ogoke and 14 of Canada in the final. That's what I'm thinking. Everybody thinks it's going to be Price and Marshall, but I just think that's going to be different. I think Ogoke will, that power, when them bombs land, if they land, that fight will be stopped quite quickly. Anyway, I won't take too much longer there. We'll move to the heavyweight division. There's I'm surprised to see there's no women's heavyweight, which is again a little bit ridiculous. We'll start with the men's light heavyweight, 81 kilos. Um, Semi-final, we got Saint Pierre of that must be for, I think that is Guadeloupe or Guyana. No, that's not Guyana. Sorry, that's Guadeloupe there. Um, Against Fawley of Wales. Um, this 81 kilogram was, I don't know, this division's, I don't know, it was a bit shocking to see because I know a guy called Ryan Charles as well, boxes for St. Lucia, who I used to train alongside at St. Lucia, man, and he was beaten by a guy from Australia, Samadali. I can't remember if he's Samoan or whatever. He's one of them things. I think he is Australian. But Samadali, I'm not sure that. I mean, I'm not just saying it because I know Ryan. But I slightly think he got robbed slightly. That's just in my mind. I just feel that he got robbed there. And if you consider in that division, the Scottish participant, he got a bye. The Indian participant, he got a bye. The guy from St. Vincent, he got a bye. The guy from Northern Ireland, the guy from Jamaica. It's just ridiculous. The guy from Nigeria, all of them, everybody got a bye. Except for Ryan and this guy, Samadali. And I was thinking, well, you know, when you get, it's just ridiculous anyway. We've got that many buys in the first round. I don't know. They just eliminate, that's how they eliminate people. I can't be mad about it. But I did see it and I wasn't really that impressed. But with what I saw, I thought Ryan did win that fight. But anyway, that's by the by. Saint Pierre and Fawley against Fawley of Wales. I'm going with Saint Pierre, man. I'm going with Saint Pierre all the way. The way he dealt with the Ghanaian Akan Kolim, boy. The way he dealt with him, I just think that he's quite dangerous. He's got good boxing ability as well. And you've got McClinchley of Northern Ireland against Nyaka of New Zealand. I'm going with the Northern Irish guy to make the final, and I'm going with Saint Pierre to make the final as well. So that should be quite good. We'll move to the men's heavyweight 91 kilogram division. Quite strong. You've got Apochi of Nigeria. This guy's amazing. This guy's an amazing boxer, man. Strong. They say he's 20 years old. I don't know if the brother's 20. I don't want to be rude, man. Brother look at least 25 to me, but I don't know. He's 20. They're saying he's 20 years old, so I'll go with them. But he very good boxer, man. This guy he doesn't play. He can box. He can do it all. He's very strong. Works behind his jab, goes in there, gets the job done, man. This guy's good. He's fighting El May of Canada, who's also good. He beat Baystar of England as well. But I'm gonna go with Apochi for that one. And then you've got Lavelle of Scotland against Light of New Zealand, Australia, should I say. You have to kind of back Lavelle in his backyard. He also hasn't had a bye in any of these fights either. He's had to fight his way up traditionally. So I'm backing him. He looks to me like he's on good form and he should make it in his backyard. That's definitely going to be a Scotland-Nigeria final. It's not definite, like don't take it as definite, it's just my prediction, but I'm definitely predicting the Nigerian brother to win that whole division there, man. Because he's brightened it up quite a lot. We'll move to the 91 plus, the super heavyweight division now. This is going to be good to see because so far, I don't care what people say. I mean, yeah, the heavyweight boxing scene is terrible as far as the pros are going, but at this level here, man, I'm impressed with what I've seen from all the participants in the super heavyweights this time. Man. There's also been quite a lot of guys in their early 30s starting to creep through as well, and I think it's needed. It's been needed since the head guard's gone off. It's completely changed the landscape of amateur boxing. Now we can see some real fights and some real fighters now, and it's not in that silly land that was in for a little while. This is good, but there was a guy from Ghana, one I knew personally called Usmanu, um, and he fought Sekabembe uh, of Uganda. Now this Sekabembe, man, this guy is no joke either. He can box long, all short range. He's very strong. And he kind of played with Osmani. Osmani gave him a little bit too much respect. I felt they touched gloves, and then Sekabembe hugged Osmanu, and Osmanu didn't really reject the hug. He accepted the hug, and I knew from that, like Sekabembe is smart, man. He just got into his head, and he was able to dismantle him. So there's no respect at this level. I shouldn't say that, but all you kids out there that want to do this amateur boxing and that, man, bun all that sportsmanship. You know, you shake your man's hand at the end of the fight, but anything during the fight, people are trying to touch gloves or continuously, anything like that, just don't feed into it, man. It's all politics and mind games. Um, so it's Sekabembe, and yeah, the guy from England who you'll know, big super heavyweight Joe Joyce. Um, nice boy, nice kid. Um, he beat Agnes, um, and he beat Henderson. He beat Scotland's own guy. They had their own 6'6" or 6'7" guy, super heavyweight called Henderson. And yeah, Joe Joyce sort of, yeah, boy, it wasn't very nice to see, but boy, yeah, Joe Joyce beat him up, man, outboxed him, beat him up. Um, there's another um, Nigerian guy in this division as well, is very good. Another essay as well, essay at Jagba. Um, as many of you know, he's another one I think he could light up super heavyweight amateur boxing division as well. They say that this guy's 22 or sorry, 21 years old. Um, I'm not gonna say nothing. I mean, boy, he's a big 21-year-old. That's what I'm gonna say. He's a pretty big 21-year-old. I think he's probably about 29. Yeah, to tell you the God's honest truth. But either way, the boy is a good fighter, man. He beat the South African guy Schaefer in a fight, and yeah, they had to stop that one prematurely. He cut up Schaefer's face badly in that one, man. A Jagba is no joke. One to be avoided, really. But yeah, there's an Australian called Goodall. He beat Major of the Bahamas, and that was a good little fight as well, man. That was a good little fight for Major, man, because Major, he's not very tall, and he was able, he's very skillful, but his work rate was a bit low, and Goodall just came through that. So it's Goodall against the Jagba. I'm backing a Jagba all day to progress to the final. And out of Sekabembe and Joe Joyce, now I'm going to go back to Joe Joyce a minute here, because he fought a guy called Agnes in the Caribbean. I forgot what island it was. And Agnes is small. Agnes must be about 5'11" to Joe Joyce. And although Joe Joyce won that fight, man, this Agnes guy was able to bruise up Joe Joyce's eye, and at times in there it was very back and forth. There were a lot of combinations being thrown by Agnes quite freely, and it was very small. So it's not to diss Joyce, but I just feel that because Joyce is a massive, he's big and strong, but I'd like to see him actually put together his punches a little bit more, man. Make it a lot easier for himself in there, because I think he takes shots that he doesn't need to take. You know what I mean? He's definitely got boxing ability. He's quite a raw novice. You know what I'm saying. He's not at the level of Anthony Joshua. I wouldn't say that. I'd say Anthony Joshua's on a bit of a higher level personally, but Joe Joyce is the next one in line, man. He's the next true. With him and Anthony Joshua, that would be a fight I would pay big money to go see somewhere down the line in the future. So I hope Joe Joyce can beat Sekabembe, and not, you know what I mean, not take this guy lightly, because this Ugandan guy has got power. He doesn't look like it. He's quite slim. He's tall, but he's got a lot of power, man, and a lot of boxing ability. So it wouldn't surprise me if Sekabembe wins that, but I'm backing Joe Joyce to stop him, really. And that'll be Joe Joyce and S.A. Ejagba in the final. And boy, out of the two of them, so far from what I've seen, I'm backing the Nigerian to win gold, and take it home. But I hopefully Joe Joyce, he doesn't get robbed or thing, he doesn't get injured, and he just, stays in his zone. If he can box to his strengths, man, he'll just beat him. He'll beat him easy. He'll beat Sekabembe, and he'll beat anybody that he meets in the final. But it's going to be a hard fight. Very interesting. So for those of you that haven't seen it, man, all the stuff is happening. Let me just get my my facts right here. All this boxing is happening tomorrow. It should be, yeah. A lot of these fights are happening on the 1st of August, which is tomorrow. So that's good. That's if you want to watch it. Like I said, you can just go on BBC iPlayer, type in boxing, and watch all the preliminaries there. You know what I mean? But I'm going to leave it there. Look, I've broken down all the divisions, all the fights. If there's any fights you'd like to see or whatever, or you tell me about, if you're even watching the boxing, if you're even aware of it, that it was happening, because a lot of people weren't even aware the Commonwealth Games was happening. Tell me so far what you think the fight of the tournament has been so far, the boxer of the tournament, and what future stars are there. Just give your views, man. No hatred. Like, I'll just delete it straight away. No hatred, man, and no big ass essays. Just get to the point of what you want to make, and then go off the topic. All right. Other than that, have a good day. It look like it's gonna rain later on, but anyway, have a good day, man. Stay blessed. Stay out of trouble. I'm out. Peace.